Hi everyone, I'm Steffi D.
And I'm Lisa H.
And welcome to Check-In from Away.
This week we are checking in with folks that work backstage and behind the scenes.
Thanks for joining us. So Lisa, listen, we're doing an episode about backstage and behind the scenes. And one of the things that I've learned about people, crew people, stage managers who have to work backstage is that they have to wear all black clothes.
Yes, this is true. And I mean, part of that is because we are part of the magic machine of the backstage, right? So you don't want to look into the wing and see someone with a fluorescent orange shirt. You're going like, that's too distracting.
Guess what? One of my favorite people that I know works backstage.
Who's that?
You, Lisa!
So my name's Lisa Humber, and I am a stage manager. I have worked on several shows for Mervish. We are there to be the eyes and the ears of the director's vision. We also deal with all the technical aspects of the show, and that, in the running of the show, includes calling the show. So essentially, calling the show is any lighting cue, sound cue, automation cue, anything that happens that isn't about the acting is called by the stage manager. So my job is to go there, kind of like be the conductor of the whole piece. My dream was to work on the biggest, hugest shows. I was like, I want to work on musicals. I want to work on huge concerts. I want to work on massive events. That's what I wanted to do. And so I met this woman at the Stratford Festival, and she said, hey, you have to meet this man named John Gray. He's that guy. And maybe he'll hire you as an apprentice. Again, the lowest job. They're looking for one for the production of Dirty Dancing. Why don't you meet him? I grew up in Sudbury. Our big family outing would be to drive to Toronto to see the massive musicals. And John Gray was the one who did them all. So I was like, oh my God, now I'm meeting him. And
he's like a rock star of stage management. I will say, Lisa, I find that some of the funnest things about being in a show happen backstage. You and I have done many an Instagram takeover, and we have a lot of really fun footage.
Yeah, we do. And I think we should check some of that out right now.
Good morning, Instagram.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Steffi Di Domenici Antonio. I play Janice Mosher in Come From Way Toronto.
I'm Lisa Humber. I play the stage manager in Come From Way Toronto.
You play the stage manager?
Yeah.
It's show number 2.
Just about to start. We can't wait. And then we're having a post-show party. Which you're all invited
Holiday
to.
party.
Awesome. Have a good one, Steffi. Should we start now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, awesome.
One day it wasn't on that plane. It's like I'm changing to somebody else, but
Lisa, it's me. It's Janice Mosher. I'm going across, but this is my time where I get to go pee. I have a pee break in the show. This is costume party. Are you coming with me? All right, gang. Let's go upstairs.
My personal liaison
It's Mom.
and work closely with me, helping to handle anything I might need.
Alex 306. Nope.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Gorin, and I'm a casting director, and I got my start in the business casting with Mervish Productions, which was very exciting for me. The main show that I started with was Les Miserables, and they asked if I wanted to help casting the kids, and I was working with a lady named Lisa Pierce, and Ernie and Brian were kind of guiding me through all that at the beginning, and it was a great experience, and I went on to do about 20 different shows for them over the years.
What exactly does a casting director do?
Well, we try to assemble the best group of people we think are right for a show by auditioning them ahead and prepping them the same way if the director had time to teach them the show and help them through the acting or help them through the singing and everything, so that they feel very confident and look good when you present them in front of that director and producer.
Hi, I'm Joe Bostick, and I'm an actor and a fight director. I've done quite a few shows with Mervish. Some of my favorites are Dirty Dancing, Wizard of Oz, Beauty and the Beast, Les Mis, and of course, Heart of Robin Hood was one of the bigger shows, one of the shows that had the most action in it. What I do is I choreograph violence in whatever show there is, whether it's a slap, a sword fight, anything that involves violence. It could be falling down. We have to make sure that the actors are safe and can do it 8 times a week. So they have to be able to get up and continue with the show and also do the next show and the next show.
So Joe, can you walk us through how to do this move?
Sure. So this is the illusion of having your head smashed against the wall. And what you want to do is you'll have a partner, because most fight scenes are with a dance partner. So they're going to grab your hair, and you're going to take your hands and put them on top of your head, which is on top of their hands, pushing down their hand onto your head. So you have that connection. And then you're going to come up to the wall, and you're going to place your foot right next to the wall. Now, you're not going to come any closer than this, because we're saying that the audience is back there. So you have your hands here, you stop, prep, and you're going to come forward. And when you get to the spot, your hands will come forward, make the snap, and then your head will snap back. And that's called the sell. And you're in control. This person's in control of it the whole time.
Ow! Ow, my hair! Ah, let go my hair! Let go my hair, Lisa!
Oh, how can be?
Does that work?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm Sue Frost, and I am one of the Junkyard Dogs, and Junkyard Dog Productions is partnered with Mervish Productions to bring Come From Away to the Royal Alex in Toronto. As a producer, you look for stories that you want to be part of telling. And once you find that story and those writers, then you have to put all of your creativity behind it. So a producer finds the property and helps put the rest of the team together. We raise the money, we put in, and when I say team, you're talking about the creative team as well as the management team and the marketing team and all of that other stuff. It's kind of like being the head of like the CEO of a business, except that the business is as much artistic as it is financial, and you have to balance those things. I have always been what I consider to be a creative producer, because I don't want to be just a check writer. I really like being involved in the creative process. And I suppose if I had one sentence to say about what I think my job is I am responsible for creating a space that people can do their best work in. And whatever that involves, whether it's financial, emotional, whatever, that's my job.
So essentially you make people's dreams come true is what you do.
On a good day.
Hi guys, I'm Jenny Fraser. I'm presently the head the Ed Mervish Theatre in Toronto. Want to say hi to all of you and hope you guys are doing well during this lockdown. I am, but I can't wait to get back to work.
And Jenny, you have literally worked on every single massive musical that's come through Toronto, right? Essentially, you are the one who's like, you want to know the inside scoop about musical theater in Toronto? Jenny has done it all. I know you and I have worked on several shows together, and everyone, it's like, you say your dream show, and Jenny's like, yeah, not only did you work on it, you probably dressed the lead of that show too. It's just so exciting.
Probably, yeah. Well, being the head of wardrobe, I organize everything to do with wardrobe. Let's say Hamilton comes in. I then would, being the head of wardrobe, the local head would meet with a traveling head. So that's the first thing we do, is I meet the traveling head. And then he sort of gives me the run of the show, what is necessary, what is needed. And then I would have my crew that I would have already known who they are. And so then I would sort of organize how I want the crew to fit into what he wants, what his requirements are, what the show requirements are, and how I can make that happen seamlessly.
Great. And as the head of wardrobe, you're responsible for everything about costumes. So like getting the actors dressed, pressing the costumes, fixing the costumes, laundering the costumes, anything that has to do with a costume, it goes through your hands first, right?
Absolutely. Aladdin, they were fabulous, like huge costuming there. And of course, I had to wear a costume, guys. Come on, that was kind of ridiculous, but I had to wear a costume because I did a quick change on stage in the middle of the stage with 1 million people It was ridiculous. But I wore a dancing girl costume. Yes.
Do you have a picture of this?
No, I refuse to have taken a picture of this. Every night, my heart stopped. It was so challenging because I turned Aladdin into Prince Ali, and it wasn't the genie at all. It was me.
Ask you, what's your favorite fight you've ever choreographed, or the craziest one?
Well, I have to go back to Heart of Robin Hood, where it's what I call killing of Gisborne, where this guy, he comes in and he takes on all the merry men and Robin Hood, beating each and one of them up, and then they actually gang up on him and he loses. Jeremy Crawford, who played Little John, he's a smaller actor, and he said, you know, I've been thrown around quite a bit on stage. And then we had two actors come over and grab him and actually throw him onto the back of Gisborne and stabbed him in the back. And he did that. He's been doing that for 5 years, every production that I've done. And it's a great move.
One of the most thrilling moments of my life that I don't think I'll ever forget was at an open call in Montreal, doing We Will Rock You. And Galileo has to sing Bohemian Rhapsody, and trying to find somebody who can actually sing that song and hit those notes. And this young man named Yvon Pedneau came in, barely spoke any English, and he sang, and he kept going. And it was a beautiful voice, and he kept going, and he hit the top. It was like, oh my God, it was like weeping. It was so good. And afterwards, I had asked him, I told him how great he was. I asked him if he could read. Now, he'd never read anything. He said, I've never acted and I've never done anything in English. Anyway, so we gave it, and he said, but my fiance, I think at the time, his girlfriend at the time, could speak some English. So he went out and he came back, and you know what? He was a very, very natural actor. And it was so thrilling. I couldn't wait to show him to the team. And the guys from Queen just said he was the best singer they had heard since Freddie.
When we took Come From Away to Gander for the first time and performed 2 concerts of the show in the hockey rink, and that experience, I think, was probably the high point of my professional career.
Oh, and I love that it has to do with Come From Away too, which is
right. Great. Yeah, and followed closely by you guys in St. John's.
When we were doing Les Miserables, they needed a sniper to shoot Jean Valjean in the big barricade scene, and they had no cast left. All the cast was on stage, so they wanted a sniper in the box, house left, to shoot Jean Valjean, the second box. So that was whoever was the assistant stage manager. That was their job. And so that was my primary job on the show, was to be an assistant stage manager. And so I went into the box every single night with a costume, a hat, and the barricade costume, and I had my headset on, and I would hold a rifle, a fake rifle, and then a props person was behind me holding a real rifle. So I would pretend to shoot, and then they would hear a gunshot blast behind me. And I did it 2 times. And then Jean Valjean killed me and I died, like in the box. I would
Lisa, so basically you're a star of the stage and of Backstage.
When we had the first day of coming down the slide in Heart of Robin Hood, the set is a 60-foot slide. And the deck was made out of AstroTurf, which is it's plastic really to make it look like grass. So it's 60 feet up in the air, and the pitch is from the top is almost vertical. Even wearing jeans, some people were wearing leggings, and they got the worst rug burns. And so all the costumes were reinforced with leather to make sure their bums were protected. But it hurt.
When we did Miss Saigon, this is a bad story. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But one of the guys that I dressed, lovely Rufus Bonds Jr., he's a great guy. Anyway, the top of the show, when the girls go out in their dancing costumes, I put a flak jacket on him, and he pulled me out onto the moving piece. Yeah. And I go, okay. And I I don't know how I jumped off just before I got, like, I'm sure people saw, I don't know, people saw me, but that was terrifying. I said, we both gonna get fired today, but I think it was cool. No one, wasn't a mishap, but it was kind of a mishap.
When we did the search for Dorothy all across the country, and this 70-year-old, we never said no to anyone, and this 70-year-old woman came in to audition for Dorothy and crawled like a cat across the floor to sing the song because she felt that's the way it should be done. We didn't actually call her back, I'm afraid, but.
Would you rather win an Emmy Award for casting Fargo, but never be able to do any casting ever again, or never win an Emmy, but be able to have a psychic ability that allows you to cast the perfect people without auditioning them?
Well, I've already got that part. No. I would rather not win the Emmy and continue casting. I think that during these times you realize how much you miss what you do.
Yeah. That's amazing. Also, it's a good time to say, Stephanie Gorin is an Emmy Award winner.
Thank you.
Would you rather have to stage fight one person a day for the rest of isolation for no reason at all, or have to be Mr. Keen from the movie It for the rest of your life?
That's a tough one. I would like to choreograph one person a day for the rest of my life.
Would you rather only be able to work on Miss Saigon for the rest of your life, or Les Miserables for the rest of your life?
Les Miserables.
Okay.
Yeah, love the show.
Would you rather drink a whole bottle of Screech in the span of 1 hour, or have to dance and perform Heave Away for 5 consecutive hours in front of the entire world on Zoom?
Wow. I think that Screech thing would make me so ill. I think I would have to finally learn Heave Away.
Would you rather spend 28 hours on a plane or be in self-isolation for another month?
Self-isolation.
Right
now, self-isolation. It's not awful right now.
Would you rather have to wash 25 dirty dance belts a day for the rest of isolation, or have to sew 100 buttons a day for the rest of isolation?
I think I would sew the 100 buttons. I think I'm going to take the buttons.
Would you rather not be able to make a quick change happen in time and have the actor go out on stage in their underwear, or have an actor go out on stage with a red wine stain all over a white wedding dress?
Well, it depends on the actor. Some actors I'm sure you'd love to see them on stage with their underwear. And some other actors, maybe they're better off with a stain on the white costume.
Just go in to the audition and enjoy yourself and know that that's your chance to perform, and just perform the best you can and know your material and be a bright spirit like you've always been.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Of course, my big thing is stay safe. Make sure everything is in front of you and you know what you're doing, and be in control of your body, even in real life.
Yeah.
But know what's going on around you at all times.
You're going to have to love the work, love the job, be committed to what you are doing, be committed to long hours. But first, there has to be the love of it. It's not going to succeed if you're doing it for the money or anything else. You have to have the love.
Well, I don't want to completely demystify it, because I really do, want people to think I'm special. But, I think if you find something that you really like to do and you love it, and you can surround yourself with wonderful people, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
You have been sewing thousands of masks during this pandemic.
I have. My eyes have gone a little squinty from sewing masks.
Do you have an actual like count of how many you've done? And you're doing them for healthcare frontline workers, right?
Yeah, I'm just doing them for the hospitals and for old folks' homes. And I've actually put online people walking the street. I've seen them. Hey, do you want mask here? It's all free, right? I figure if I can save one life, it's worth the 3 months of sewing masks.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to show you quickly. I'll show you step by step. First of all, you got to have a pattern.
If someone wanted to make their own mask at home, is there like a specific fabric that they should use? Are you like, something that we should look for?
Well, yeah, I would use good cotton. The fat quarters for quilting that people use for quilting? Just use a good quality cotton. What I have been doing is I have been making 2 layers. Most people make 2 layers, a 2-layered mask. I sometimes use 3 because I'm me, right? And I don't think you need to go any more than that because then the person would die. They can't breathe, So it all depends on the fabric that you're using. The heavier the fabric, the thinner the fabric. So I have been making 2 layers and 3 layers. The inner layer and the outer layer, like you saw in that pattern. So there are 2 pieces here and 2 pieces here. And along the curved line, you do a little stitch. And then when you open it up, you have this.
I love it.
Same with the lining. You have this.
I know. I actually want that mask. Black silk line with leopard print in the front. Like, hello.
And then, so now you've opened them up. And then we sew the top and sew the bottom and not the side. So now you have this all sewn.
Okay.
Then you take this little baby and you turn it inside out. And you have this. This is a different fabric, but now it's starting to look like a mask. And they're reversible. So I've got IATSE Local 58 on the inside.
Wow!
So they're reversible, right? So then you get this. After you've got that, you sew your elastic on the sides. And then we've got a Lisa Humber mask right here. Nice wild animal print. And again, it's reversible. And I've got the silk on the other side.
Cool.
Are you kidding? It's fashionable and it's safe.
My favorite one is called a 3D mask, guys. And it looks like this. It's very chic. But then when you open it up, it looks like this.
Oh,
A little band in the middle. So it's very, very clean.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Check-In From Away.
See you next Tuesday.
Cheers!